Oh my gosh, I was later to this video than I expected, but I had to let my devil out, you know? So, Workshop 5Prints is come and gone. We got Purity and Malice. Very interesting two titles, and a lot of interesting characters got shown off in both these presentations. I'm not gonna do a bunch of rambling on this. Let's just get right into it. Starting with the SpongeBob. Gotta say, I do like the animated trailer. That's always a plus for me. I like that it's kind of like Steve's trailer, where like, oh, Sonic punches him, and Mario ends up in the Minecraft world. Well, Mario punched Sonic, and Sonic ends up in the Bikini Bottom. I like that a lot. Now, this SpongeBob was actually from last year's presentation, so not much has changed on my thoughts of the character. He still looks pretty fluid with animation. His references are still very easy to spot, and I like it a lot. Now, on his trailer, it does say he was supposed to release that day. That did not happen. He did not release the day of Workshop Purity, but he did come out eventually. You can't say that for some Workshop characters, I would know. So, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. I'm happy SpongeBob is in the game. He looks great. And now that they're finally showing you, we could talk about the style of this presentation. This was probably the most different presentation that we have gotten in the Rivals Blueprint saga, I suppose. This one, we kind of got rid of like, oh, here's the, the title thing, and here's the header. Now it's just, let's talk about the character. There's their gameplay right there. You just saw the trailer. There's the trailer. Person gonna be talking on the left side, and that's about it. I mean, that's not saying they didn't have editing in this, because like, they have the characters move around and move the screen, move the trailer to the screen. Like, I like that. I like that a lot. But, they didn't do too much fancy mumbo jumbo presentation style stuff. They did their own thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. Loop, pretty interesting. They have a lot of teleportation. They're mostly a punchy kicky character, but they have a lot of tools to like teleport around. Very interesting, very interesting. I like the design a lot. Very floaty character with some ice moves in there. Curve Dog said this was inspired by Jigglypuff. Yeah, I can definitely see it. There's Pounder right there. I'm not crazy about floaty characters. They're hit or miss for me. Sometimes I can vibe with them. Sometimes they're just a bit too much with their movement. But I like the movement. At least the animations when the character's moving around. I like that a lot. Definitely the silly part comes into play, I suppose, when they start moving around. So, yeah. Cool character, cool character. Next is the JH character. It's Heavy Blade Rabbit from Rabbit and Steel. What the hell is that? So looking at the gameplay, a lot is going on. And that's because it is a bullet hell. It is a roguelike bullet hell. And it is going crazy. I can't even tell what's going on. So yeah, that's bullet hells for you. I don't know what I'm looking at, but it looks very cool. Not too much was shown off for the character, but I mean, you didn't really need to see too much. What do you think's gonna happen with that giant sword? Put it down in the comments below! But there was some interesting tidbits in here. Like, you see like that Ariel, she has a little hop afterwards for like a follow-up. And she has a projectile-like move, and then whatever the hell was happening with this parry. But most of your gameplay is gonna probably be using the sword. The teaser's text says time to change fate, and immediately thinking, oh my gosh, it's Fire Emblem! But no, that's later. Instead, we get a different Nintendo property, Xenoblade Chronicles. We get Milia. This character has all the bells and whistles, tons of spells, pretty solid range with their weapon, but they have an ice stage control, they have the wind stage control, and they have fire, which the wind can redirect the fire. This character looks like it's gonna be pretty big brain. But hey, she looks like a solid zoner, and you get a Xenoblade Chronicles stage, and I know it's gonna have Xenoblade Chronicles music. And you know how good that music is, so I'm happy. The Power Rangers are in Rivals of Aether Workshop, specifically the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. We got the Green Ranger. Now I'm gonna put my hands up in the air right now. I didn't grow up with Mighty Morphin. I just didn't. I wasn't born. I'm primarily an SPD Mystic Force type of guy, but Mighty Morphin is iconic, and Green Ranger is probably like the best choice you could have gotten for a Power Ranger rep. He looks fantastic, nice and fast, nice and flashy, and oh my gosh. What the fudge is this at the end? The freaking big drill comes in. That has to be like a final smash. Oh my gosh, that looks insane. But Very fast, very agile character. He's got the nice slicing moves. Looks fun, looks fun. Next is Gordon the pig, and I just like this guy's style. He's burping, he's eating, he's hungry, and he's ready to fight. I like him a lot, I like him a lot. He's got food eating gimmick. You eat some food, you're making him more powerful. He's got the strength too. He's probably gonna be a very tanky character. Looks neat. Looks very neat. We get an announcement of the next V-Wizard character. If you do not know, V-Wizard is currently doing a Final Frenzy, well, Final Frenzy Part 2. It's not really final. But, lots of cool characters coming out of V-Wizard with tons of collaborations from people in the workshop scene. And this time, he's collaborating with Palm's creator, Ruby Knights, to give us Shinoa. Now, Shinoa comes from Castlevania. Look. I've seen them in Smash, I've seen them in Kart Saga War. Two different types of games, but one thing remains the same, and it even carries over to her. They're gonna throw shit at you, and I'm gonna be scared. She's got axes, she's got this giant blade thing, she's got fire and ice, not just projectiles, but weapons as well. And to top it off, she can fling herself from downtown and hit you from across the screen. And she can redirect the axes too. This character is amazing. Words cannot possibly describe how I felt watching this Taurus DE trailer. So just look at these combos. Dude's fighting like $1 billion are on the line. Gen 3 fans are eating. Sceptile is in the game. So I had to watch this a couple of times because the gimmick is very interesting. If you land enough attacks, your next attack will do extra damage, some knockback, get some healing in there for Sceptile. You really want to be prioritizing like when you want that to happen, it seems. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. Not what I expected from Sceptile. And you know, out of nowhere, they just show Fern and Mashal. Nothing crazy there. What? There is one more character showing off. Blinking, you'll miss her, but... Oh, I'm not missing her. Bro, we will be there. We will be there. Yes, yes. Absolute rivals indeed. Bro, if I was to enter a tournament and this guy was saying absolute rivals on the screen while I'm getting comboed and 3-stocked, I'm DQing. Very goofy puppet character. I can see some fun shenanigans with this one. Aw, shoot. We didn't hit the Toho daily quota. We are going to get every single Toho character under the damn sun. Now, to be fair to the Toho characters, I have played a lot of them, and I can say this. All of them are unique. No Toho character feels the same, and that still is true with Sawako. She's got some water moves, but the main things I want to talk about is the rock and the leaf moves. For example, this move where she crouches, she gets different moves. It's like a mix-up opportunity. And with the rock move, she's got this praying hands that she can push around and hit opponents with. So yeah, we get a lot of Tohos, but they're such high quality. Look at this. This is some good stuff. We even get a tease for the next Toho character, Big the... Huh? Lady Bo from Paper Mario. Very scary. She looks like a pretty fast character. She's chaining those down tilts together, and her fan's able to blow her around and the opponent, so that's pretty cool. Also, I like how Kurt Dog still just calls her Lady Boo.
Lady Boo by Jetty.
Disrespectful. And the final reveal for Purity, Plum. Very nice animated trailer, and a cool moveset as well. Jetpack, laser that pulls you in, giant ass wrench, bubbles, concoctions you probably shouldn't be drinking, and a launch pad to help set it all up. And now that we've seen Plum, I do want to talk about the fact that there aren't many OCs shown off in this year's blueprints. At least not as many as previous years. I get it, a lot of IP characters should be here, they get the people talking, but it's kind of fascinating, you know? Pretty good start to the Workshop 5Prints. If I had to say who my favorite character was revealed, not including teases, it had to be Plum. Or SpongeBob, because he just looks that good, he can win 2 years in a row. Now it is on to Workshop Malice, broadcasted directly from Hell, and we kick things off with Rax D Flip? No. Yeah, this would never ever have entered my bingo card. What the hell? If you're into the content or even just the let's go gambling, then you're probably gonna get a kick out of this one. It's also interesting that the editing style for this changes from the previous one. In Purity, it was more Kurt Dog grabs the trailer and puts it in front of the screen. But now it's character silhouette, it zooms in, and you see the trailer, and then it's still a character talking about it on the left side. Very interesting that it changed, but I guess they wanted to go for a different style for the two, which I don't mind. Abram the Accursed actually fits pretty well with the presentation style. Lots of demonic moves, a giant axe to boot, even has a command grab, the evilest move of them all. Ah, there's the Fire Emblem. Roy from Fire Emblem is getting added to the Rivals of Aether workshop, and he's probably going to be pretty similar to the Smash version. Glad to see it. Another definitive addition to the workshop 5Prints, Belk Home, and man, he looks super goofy, which, I mean, look at them. Frisk from Undertale. We've had a Frisk before in the workshop, but this one is balancing the pacifism and the genocide. Me personally, I feel like this is the route a lot of people would take to try to add Frisk into a fighting game, letting you choose between the mercy or the fighting. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh, and Undertale Deltarune, they're still eating because Lancer DE is in. Not much I can say for the homie that the gameplay isn't already showing. He's as goofy as ever, the bike's still there, he's doing the wackiness, just with some better animation. And Chapter 4 is getting a stage. Not only do you get the amazing music of Deltarune, but you also get You're Taking Too Long, the pumpkin from the boss fight. It works pretty similarly to how it worked in there. He shows up, says you're taking too long, and oh boy, when he says it, you better start running. Or you can test your luck and parry it, and become too bright for it to handle. This is amazing. I love it. Okay, this is amazing, but I have to ask, who sat in their chair one day and said, you know what? No, I don't want to play Rival of Aether. I want to play Beyblade! And it works just as you would expect Blade to work. The physics are all there, it bounces around accurately. This was a lot of dedication for Beyblade, my gosh. V1 in Rivals of Aether, and no, I'm not talking about Matt Hardy. I'm talking about from Ultra Kill. One thing I do love in this trailer is that they show the moves in-game, and then they show them in Rivals of Aether, just to show how they're going to be adapted in the moveset. I love that a lot. And they look pretty cool as well. He's able to ricochet bullets, he has tons of different types of weapons, and to top it off, he's just badass looking. Speaking of cool looking characters from series that I've never touched, Ezio from Assassin's Creed. I imagine he's going to have a lot of Assassin's Creed moves, but he's also probably going to take some stuff from Soul Calibur 5, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Nice to see boss fights are still getting added to Rivals Workshop, and King Gleeok is the newest addition to that list. A lot of the boss fights tend to include things that were also in the original boss fight, like beat for beat, bar for bar. So this one also does pretty similar things with the wind and stuff. That's pretty cool. A character I absolutely love, but didn't actually think about the potential for in Rivals of Aether, John Wick. He of course has the shooty, but he does get his hands a bit more dirty and has a command grab. He looks super fun, and it's probably the closest I'm getting to him getting in a fighting game anytime soon. Yeah, I don't honestly know even now what to say about Broccoli, and I mean that in a good way because it's so bizarre, which is ironic for what's about to come later. At first it was just a pretty typical moveset, you know, a couple of goofy moves, goofy character moves. Then they start opening portals and the water comes out and then the white void, what is that? Then you have this nice sounding but also eerie feeling music in the background. I will be polite and good. I don't know what to make of this, but I'm intrigued. Oh my gosh. This is gonna need a bit of a recap. So for those who don't know, this is not Walter White from Breaking Bad's first appearance as a potential Rivals character. They were seen in the Villains of Aether presentation. And oh, I have it planned. We will talk about that presentation one day. But for now, just know that they were in it and that they haven't been seen since that presentation. And he's here. He's finally here. Of course, you got some references. You know, he uses a gun in the show. He uses the gun in the moveset. The pizza, you remember the pizza. There it is. But the main bread and butter is that he can cook. And I'm not talking about no pizza. Look at that. He pretty much has like a crafting table, but it's making drugs. And again, I have to say it. Rivals Workshop 1, Warner Bros. Games 0. One more thing about this trailer. I love the music choice they did. Like, it fits right at home and something that would be in Breaking Bad. And Undertale and Deltarune fans keep eating because they announced that Undertale and Deltarune are getting their own presentation. Tons of workshop creators coming together in one presentation for a bunch of Undertale and Deltarune content. I can't stop winning! And as if this presentation couldn't leave me stunned any more than it already has, it ends with Jotaro Kujo and Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure getting into Rivals of Ether Workshop, bro. This shit means something to me, man. I'll say this right now, not a lot of anime properties eat well on the Rivals Workshop. You know, Dragon Ball, it's gonna eat well. It's one of the most popular anime of all time. But I'm just glad that one of my favorite anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, is eating this good. Not just Dio, but Jotaro as well, both of them in at the same time. Oh my god. The trailer doesn't show any gameplay, but look who's getting revealed, and look when they're coming out. I think you can find out for yourself. So there you have it. Rivals Workshop 5Prints, Purity and Malice. I've talked about both. And gosh, the best reveal for Malice is such a tough one to decide. No, it's not. It's Jotaro and Dio, bro. Come on now. But that's just me being biased. You could argue for a lot of characters in this being the best revealed. Walter White, John Wick, Lancer DE, along with the tons of Deltarune content and Undertale content that you will be getting on the workshop. Broccoli. I still don't know what's going on there, but I'm still intrigued. But it's time for the big question. Which one was better, and where do I rank them? I think Malice is better than Purity. Purity had some pretty good reveals in it, don't get me wrong. But the heavy hitters at the end of that Malice presentation, bro, it hit on all cylinders. If I was going to rank Purity against all the other workshop presentations, I think it's going in A tier. But it's barely an A tier. I think this was a really solid presentation, but nothing really smacked my face like, holy. It was just a lot of good solid stuff. As for Malice, it's going in S tier, man. Oh my gosh. This presentation,
it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
I don't know if it was better than Workshop Void, but it's up there, dude. It's up there. A lot of the characters that were revealed in these presentations are already out right now, so go on to the Rivals Workshop, start downloading them, just play them. They are going to be a treat. And in the end, I have to give Rivals Workshop 5Prints let the devil out of 10.